Welcome to the Chris, Wanda, and Liam World Cup Review Show. I'm coming to you live, Chris Gavin, talking to you about who I think will win the World Cup and a little analysis of the opening match, Brazil-Croatia. Liam and Wanda have not made it out to Saudi Arabia, so will be joining me later for putting this show on. Why do we do it? Because as a team, we believe we know as much about football as any of the knucklehead announcers we've been hearing over the past couple of years. So here we go. The World Cup, different than most years because I think there are actually 5 or 6 teams who have a very good shot at winning it. However, what I consider the conventional wisdom, I don't buy. Let's talk about the teams. Obviously, Spain, defending champion, 2-time Euro winner, not this time. I think they're going to miss Carlos Puello on the back line. He just added a lot of toughness and a very smart defensive player. He kept that defensive line in line, pardon the pun. Sergio Ramos, very tough, just tends to do a couple of knucklehead things every once in a while. And we'll miss a play, we'll give up a goal here and there. Also, I'm not a big fan of PK, and I think without Ramos being able to play on the wing with Puello in the middle, Xabi Alonso coming back from an injury, still looked a little slow playing for Real Madrid. And who are you going to put at left defender? I think leaves some question marks for me. Torres isn't what he used to be, and David Villa, obviously if David Villa, don't know if they brought him, to me he is a tough player, smart, knows how to score, but I don't think he's a coach's favorite. Iniesta and Xavi have seen better days. And the man in the back line, the most underrated keeper in international play and the most overrated keeper in league play. I'm talking about Casillas. In international play, he's had a very good World Cup and very good Euros. However, the Spanish team usually controls the ball, so a lot of teams don't get a lot of free shots on him. When they shoot on him, he's been able to come up with the stops. He, however, is slowing down. In the Confed Cup, going to penalty kicks against Italy, he wasn't even close to stopping a 1. He's not the goalie he was 4 years ago or 2 years ago. And without Victor Valdez behind him, even though he was unproven at the World Cup level, I just think there are too many question marks. And I see a lot of teams have figured out how to defend that Spanish, very intricate offense that 4 years ago worked for them, but with different players, I just don't see them connecting as well. It showed very much in their qualifiers. They struggled. They had a draw against Finland. 1-1 the qualifiers. You have to put the ball in the net. I don't think the Spanish team has the firepower. United States. I bring them up because I am a fan and my heart says United States. The head, however, I'm concerned. I believe Landon Donovan not being taken is a sign that this may not be the year. I felt going in that with 2 of the best goalies in the world, in Howard and Guzan, you had a very solid defensive line. Michael Bradley becoming a better and better midfielder. And with Dempsey and still an unproven Altidore, who at times was very good at setting up people to put the ball in the net. For the United States to do well, he's got to come up big. He has to put the ball in the net, especially with Landon Donovan not there. Him and Dempsey and Bradley have to combine for some partnership work to score, and Josie Altidore has to play big. He hasn't shown it yet. So unfortunately, given the group they're in with Germany, Portugal, and Ghana, the spoiler of the last two, I don't have a lot of faith in my head that this U.S. team will get out of the group. In my heart, we're going to surprise the world. Germany, always an underachiever for the past couple World Cups, seem to come in third all the time, but they've gotten better, they've gotten quicker, and they've gotten a lot more creative. I think a lot will tell is how much and how ready Sami Khedira is, and if he can work a partnership with Mesut Ozil and Schweinsteiger. The loss of, I believe, Royce will hurt them, but they're a very deep team. The question mark will be the defensive line and their goalie Neuer, who, when he is on, he is one of the best in the world. But he has a tendency to mentally go to Hawaii during the match. That may catch up to Germany. Brazil at home, you got to give a home team an advantage. After today's game, I don't think they're going to beat anybody good. So here's the team I'm looking for the surprise. France. I think if you look up and down the line and strength in the middle, goalie, center defenders, center midfielder, front forward. They may look ugly with Benzema and Gerrard, but I think they'll get the job done. They're the one team that I would not be surprised if, as a dark horse, they win the whole thing. Holland, 4 years ago runner-up. You've got Robbie Van Persie, who's revitalized. You have Robben, who did not have a good Euro 2 years ago, couldn't hit a shot to save his life, but in the last 2 years has come on very strong and has decided to try and use his right foot every once in a while, which makes him doubly dangerous. If he actually learns how to pass, the Dutch team could be very tough and very hard to beat. However, they always seem to be the runners-up. And of course, you have to look at Argentina just because of a gentleman by the name of Lionel Messi. In the open field, there's nobody better. He's been getting hurt, though. And quite frankly, between the goalie with no hands and a very Swiss cheese defense, even in South America, I don't think that Argentina will have enough to get over the top. Portugal with Cristiano Ronaldo. Very tough team to figure out, especially with Ronaldo being hurt and questions on whether he is playing or not. If he is there, obviously he is the best player in the world right now, bar none. They are a threat. Without him, they won't get out of their group. So, my prediction, I'm looking for the French to surprise the world. Hopefully the United States can give them a run for their money, but that's the hard talk. Okay, let's talk about the opening match, because Brazil at home, they got a gift today. While they dominated play in the first half against a seriously outmanned Croatian team who have obviously trouble with speed and ability to handle the ball, and a goalie who couldn't stop anything that wasn't shot right at him, Croatia should have won that game. In fact, they're going to look at this as lost opportunity. They got an early goal. They should have had 2 other goals. Very early crosses to a very tall team. They couldn't convert. Brazil's quickness gave them a hard time up until about the 65th minute when Brazil got tired. Their 2-1 lead, the opening shot by Neymar for the first goal, obviously it was right in the corner, but he had the speed and the kick of a 90-year-old chorus girl. That should have been stopped. That goalie with Croatia, even though he was tall and lanky, a nice build for a goalie, Well, he lost that in lack of quickness because he couldn't get over the ball to save his life. That tied it up, and then on a very stoppable penalty kick, even though you give him credit for guessing right, you get your hands on it, where he got his hands on it, chest high, very bad penalty kick from Neymar, you have to make that save. He didn't, and then he gives up an even cheesier goal to Oscar. I always want to call him Oliver. But Brazil had a gift with that penalty kick. And quite frankly, I haven't figured out that defensive line. Other than Silva in the middle, very strong defender, I look at that back line and that goalie, and I'm wondering why that ball isn't burning the twine against them. Cesar can't catch a ball to save his life. Eventually that will catch up to him. David Luiz, very athletic kid, plays like a bonehead. And the wings of Dirty Danny Alves and Marcelo, they're going to give up a lot of goals. Neymar over the middle. Now, for all of those who saw the Confed Cup, they had him play, they being Brazil coach, had him play as a left wing, and he was very effective. Very smart move to move him back to the midfield. But young Neymar has a yellow card on him. He's also not durable. And quite frankly, against a team like the Netherlands, who play physical ball, Neymar does tend to go down hard when he's hit. And I think eventually that will slow him down. Plus, he has a temper, and he may find himself on cards missing matches. Without Neymar in the middle, and when he got tired, Croatia with very poor midfield dominated those last 15 to 20 minutes. And while I like Luka Modric as a defensive midfielder with Real Madrid, he needs to get more offensive for Croatia to have a chance, because he was outplayed for 60 minutes and Brazil dominated that middle. I don't think against a good team they'll be able to do that. So if this is their opening game, and a game they came out very psyched and very ready to play, they looked extremely beatable. The Swiss cheese defense and really only one midfielder. And Fred and Hulk pretty much didn't do anything except Fred fell down and got a gift. So they'll probably get out of their group, but against somebody good, they'll be out in the round of 16. Well, that's our show for tonight. I look forward to bringing Wanda and Liam, the real brains and looks of this team, for future reviews. We have 2 games tomorrow. Look forward to it, and we'll be talking to you, and happy World Cup.